WNBA was utterly unprepared for the national scrutiny that was coming. And I think, one of the many thoughts on these topics, and I do deal with it. I tell the whole story in a chapter called Controversy about the Players Association attempt to ban me.
And also tomorrow, Christine Brennan is releasing her book about Caitlin Clark. And she talks about the impact of Caitlin Clark. And I'm sure there will be so many wholesome stories and uplifting things about Caitlin. But she is also sharing a look behind the scenes at a lot of the drama and negative things that happened last season.
The BDP, Christine Brennan. We get some excerpts start rolling out from this book. And man, DJ Carey, and Joanna, the IPO heard around the world. Oh, take away her credentials. She asked me a question and I didn't like it. And Christine Brennan in USA Today is saying, quiet down. That's what real journalists and reporters do.
The WNBA has just been stoked by Christine Brennan, and it won't let up anytime soon. Her new book didn't just praise Caitlin Clark, it pulled the curtain back on the messy, petty, downright dysfunctional behavior inside the league. Players, confronting reporters, PR disasters, envious teammates, and league officials who, naturally, openly admit off the record that the majority of their athletes are completely unprepared. For the spotlight are all examples of this.
Caitlin Clark is way more important to the WNBA than Tiger Woods was to men's golf, even though he was huge. And to then see this negativity, like why? And what should have been done? I look seriously at the leadership of the WNBA. And how could you not be prepared for this moment? You've seen it happening in the Big Ten. You've seen it at Iowa. You see these TV ratings.
So, let me ask you this. How did the league screw up their biggest star since well ever? And why does it feel like some people inside the WNBA would rather watch it all burn than admit Caitlin Clark is a gamaker? We're about to break down all of this mess, starting with the moment a veteran journalist realized the WNBA was in over its.
Was utterly unprepared for the national scrutiny that was coming. And I think, one of the many thoughts on these topics, and I do deal with it. I tell the whole story in a chapter called Controversy about the Players Association attempt to ban me, which failed utterly. I had a credential for the first game of the WNBA finals. That was, that's all there. And there's a lot more to the story and shocking behavior behind the scenes from some Connecticut Sun players the next day. And it's all there, all factual, all correct.
When Caitlin Clark declared for the WNBA draft, the world knew it was about to change everything, except apparently the WNBA didn't. Christine Brennan called a top official to gauge the league's reaction, and they compared her to Maya Moore. Look, Maya was amazing, but Caitlin's appeal isn't just about hoops. She's a movement. Packed arenas, off-shirts ratings, jerseys flying off shelves, casual fans tuning in just to see her shoot from the logo. There was more to this class than just rookies. This was a flash in the pan. Bad day. But the WNBA, they treated it like just another Tuesday. What would you do if you had a once-in-a-generation player handed to you on a silver platter? Most leagues would build around her, market the hell out of her. But this league, they shrugged. That right there told Brennan everything she needed. To know the league had no idea what was coming. Do you believe this was deliberate downplaying of her stardom or ignorance?
The WNBA does not need that, because for a lot of America, Caitlin Clark is the hero. And anyone that comes to Caitlin Clark's defense is a hero. And everyone that flagrantly fouls her, speaks poorly of her, acts like she's not great, is the villain, and then vice versa.
Let's fast forward to the IPOC playoffs. Caitlin Clark gets hit in the face by Janai Carrington. Replays fly around the internet. Fans are outraged, and instead of owning it, or just letting it pass, the league and Carrington get defensive. Enter Christine Brennan again. She asks a fair, normal question. Did you mean to hit her in the eye? Carrington answers, no. Case closed. Right. Wrong. That one question led to the WNBA Players Association releasing a scorched earth statement. They accused Brennan of baiting players, stoking racism, homophobia, misogyny, you name it. All from a basic follow-up. It wasn't just a PR overreaction. It exposed a league that doesn't know how to deal with criticism.
is she saying, or are all these people who then were critical of me, including the Players Association, saying that we can't ask a female athlete what we would ask a male athlete? I asked Tiger Woods a steroids-related question about his doctor and performance-enhancing drug, or HGH, at the Masters press conference. That's what journalists do. You never pull punches. I talked to Michael Phelps and had 45 minutes with 19-year-old Michael Phelps when he had his first DUI. Now, I'm not comparing steroids or performance-enhancing drugs or DUIs to Dejanay Carrington and the hit, or her fingers ending up around Caitlin Clark's eye. I'm not. I want to make it crystal clear. I'm not comparing that. What I am comparing, those are far worse things, DUI and performance-enhancing drugs, obviously. Yes. What I am saying, though, is tough question.
Here's the crazy part. That same Players Association note accidentally spoiled Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year award before it was even announced. That's how sloppy and emotional this response was. Is this how a professional league should act when a reporter asks a tough question?
The kind of question that I would ask a male athlete, women can't handle it? Is that what that was? I have great respect for female athletes. And I have great respect for the WNBA. I'm putting it right up there.
Brennan's book gets even messier when she tells a story about DJ. Carrington confronting her in a catering room over what she thought was smack talk about Alyssa Smith. Smith is Carrington's girlfriend and a Fever player. And apparently Carrington overheard Brennan, Scott Agnes, and another reporter quietly discussing a potential lineup change before a playoff game. Something coaches and insiders do every day. Instead of going through PR, Carrington storms in, accusing reporters of calling Smith a bad teammate. Brennan attempts to elaborate. She even invites Carrington to sit down and talk, but Carrington refuses, and this is wild. Carrington leaves a voicemail for Smith about the conversation right before a do-or-die playoff game. Think about that. Your teammate is supposed to be getting locked in for the most important game of the season. And instead, she's caught in the middle of a petty media misunderstanding that could have been solved quietly. What kind of pro player does that before a playoff game? Brennan recounts another face, tough face with Dana. Bonner, Carrington's teammate at the time. You disrespected my teammate, Bonner says as he approaches Brennan and stares him down. To introduce herself, Brennan extends her hand. Donner doesn't shake it, says it again, then walks away. That's not just awkward, it's intimidation. And it's not how professional athletes should interact with credentialed reporters doing their job. Brennan has been involved in the industry for decades. She didn't flinch, not. But imagine that happening. To a younger journalist or someone without her reputation, here's the kicker. A WNBA official later told Brennan, "Your questions weren't vulgar, weren't rude, they were fair. Our players just don't know how to handle real media." Think about that. The league's own officials admit their players are media unprepared. However, the PA is making public attacks on journalists. Who do you think is more out of line, the players or the league leadership? You would think after all this drama, the WNBA would release a measured, thoughtful response, right? Nope, there was no radio. While Brennan was getting harassed online, while players were tweeting laughing emojis and throwing around defamation, accusations, the league said nothing. Not a single statement defending the press. No reminders of basic media protocol, no clarification, just silence. The same league that claims to champion women in sports suddenly went quiet when a woman reporter was getting heat for asking a basic question.